Welcome to Heal into Happy. I invite you to take an adventure with me into your very own universe as I guide you to go within, release your fears, and become empowered to create a life you love. I am your host, Lark Allen. My intention is to help you shine a light on everything that is keeping you from being truly free. You can expect this healing journey to be filled with love, laughter, clarity, and fun. Are you ready to take a leap of faith? Let's go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have Stasia Bliss back again. I loved our discussion about creating heaven on earth on our last episode. And today she's doing us the great honor of coming back and giving us a forecast of what the cards and all of the beautiful things that she utilizes sees for 2022 for us. And I am creating space for this to be so beautiful for everyone that chooses to tune in. And we ask that you take what resonates and embody what inspires you.
Awesome.
Without further ado, Stasia, I'm going to let you take it away and do what you do so intuitively best.
Thank you so much, sister. I'm so honored to be here with you and with your beautiful audience. And such an honor to sit at this powerful gateway at the beginning of a new numerological calendar, as we like to say. And I'm just feeling some beautiful energy coming in right now. So I just want all of us to just take a moment and just feel your physical body and take a deep breath into your body and become aware of the place on the earth where you are now. It's tuning into the land underneath you. I'm just really feeling Gaia wanting to speak up here at the beginning and remind us that we are all guided and protected at all times, and that all of the realms that are here are participating with us at this time in this awakening, that even the animals and the trees are going through a great change in their consciousness too. And so just bringing the awareness of those other realms to be present with us as we go forward into this read. So with that, I grabbed this animal totem deck because I'm really feeling that there are 4 guardians that are wanting to come in and be spoken at the beginning that are from the animal realm. And what I'm getting coming in, besides I'm hearing the tiger of the water tiger medicine of the Chinese calendar. I'm feeling that energy is definitely here with us as we are moving through some integration of duality, which the tiger represents with its stripes, but also some other powerful animals coming in. We've got the rhinoceros coming forth, which to me has always felt like just charging in on your path to beat all odds. But interestingly enough, this card has sitting atop the rhinoceros, this yogi in a ring of fire sitting atop of it. And the card is about moderation. And so it's like both this charging into the new coupled with this like sitting in your glory and manifesting. Like those two things are coexisting in this card. So the message is, yes, both of those powers are required at this time, this fortitude, this strength to move forward against all odds, but also that the power was within us to sit and focus on the reality that we would like and open the portal, which is shown so clearly on this card as a fire portal, an opening that alchemically burns away the old and allows us to really step into a remembrance of who we are.
That reminds me that we are going to have a picture. Stasia's going to take a picture of everything that comes through today, and they will be in my show notes at healintohappy.com. So we can actually look at everything, and I feel like that's so powerful to do.
Definitely. Thank you. The second animal coming in is a dog, which I love that we have this domestic companion coming in because this card is all about companionship. and being with one another and showing up for each other. And in this card, there is a figure that looks kind of like Athena with the bow and arrow, where she's pointing off into the cosmos, actually. And the dog is just sitting there with her, just holding that space. And so I feel this energy of, again, this moving forward, like looking where our sights are set, and that this energy of companionship is saying, and also I'm just going to sit with you while you do that. I'm going to hold space with you. I'm protecting that space of looking into the new. So this strong, lovely companion. Then we also have the shark showing up, which is a very strong energy. Indeed, this card's energy talks about purpose, which to me also kind of mirrors this elegant archer on the other card, is the strength in purpose and going, like, again, after what you need. And yet when the shark is not going after food, it's so gracefully, majestically moving around. And in this card is actually swimming with a mermaid. And so this powerful deep sea creature that points us to the depths of our being during this time, that is calling up a sort of power and a majesty in us once again. And then the fourth gatekeeper is sort of making me laugh, because I laugh that this is in this deck, but I also love it. And that is that it's a wolverine, which I don't even know if that's a real animal in the sense of, like, you can go see one. Maybe there is a wolverine, but in this card, it looks like you're thinking the superhero, right? Wolverine. And so I look at this card and its fierceness, and it has this like being all in their sword and shield. And this card really like makes me feel that almost like the animal kingdom is like, please, will you step into your superpowers already? Like we're holding all the fierceness where you have it in you to step into a more powerful presence and make that energy known on this planet. And so I'm feeling all four of these really speaking to this majestic purpose that we have, this strong, powerful, magical part of us that is ready to come forth, that the animal realm is really like supporting us in doing that.
I love it.
I have to say, like, my cat agrees, because my cat came to me on Halloween and he is always like laying on my cards and coming over to where all the magical things are and just reminding me, getting on my yoga mat, like, we got to do some yoga. Like, there is really like this knowing in the animal realm, I feel. Even he'll go over to my little altar outside and draw my attention to it. So I'm coming over there to it. So there's definitely an awareness in the animal realm about where our consciousness wants to be looking.
Yes, I find animals to be so just present, which means connected to God.
Yes, definitely. 100% present. Okay, the plant realm wants to bring up a couple of items. So we're going to bring up some of the plant kingdom. And interestingly, we've got this sort of theme energy going when we've got dogwood showing up, which is about defending, like defending its territory, defending its ground, and burdock root, which is about tenacity on this card. Since a burdock root can kind of grow in any circumstances, it's a very hardy root underneath the earth. It draws the nutrients and brings powerful cleansing action to our bodies. So both of these plants are also talking about defending and having tenacity, like defending our territory, like being purposeful in how we grow, and also being able to remove the toxins that we find in our atmosphere with tenacity, like being able to weed those out. Some would call burdock a weed, but it's really very medicinal. Okay, so that's the setup here. We're going to turn to a different deck. We've got these, or the crystal realm is saying, don't forget about me. So let's just pull a couple of cards from the crystal allies. For me, I've been working with crystals since the very beginning. Even when I was a little girl, the colorful stones always really drew my attention. I would collect them and bring them inside until I would break the drawers, and my mom would make me throw out my boxes of stones. But as I got older, I went to India. My love of stones returned as I found myself in these roads full of dazzling crystals of every kind, and just really a plethora of the gemstones over there. And it rekindled my love. And if you tune into the stones, they really do talk to you. They really do like speak to our consciousness and give us messages. And so I'm pulling right now from this beautiful deck by Judy Hall. And lovely enough, one of my first favorite stones ever comes up. If you're familiar with the stone labradorite, that is such a beautiful stone. And I also studied gemstones for years at the Gemological Institute of America. And it's actually the only stone that has this labradorescence quality about it, which is this magical, mirrory sheen in it that again is reminding me of the Wolverine, this like magical nature. And the stone is about enacting our intuitive, but also our magical self, like reminding us there's more than meets the eye here. Even on this stone, look, it looks like this now, but if you turn it, wow, this whole different magical part reveals itself. And so that speaks to our consciousness too, that there is more than meets the eye. There's more than we've even stumbled upon thus yet that wants to come forth this year. And then the other crystal is auralite, which to me looks a lot like an amethyst. It's purple and it's just got a different structure of crystals, but it's purpley black with a little white in there. And auralite in this deck represents connection, like soul connecting to other souls, and linking us together and reminding us of our soul missions and our soul groups. And so I do find at this time that, you know, and maybe some listeners are also feeling this, that certain people have dropped away from your life and other people are coming in that are new. And a lot of this has to do with the ordering of our soul groups, that we are drawn to certain people because of our resonant frequency, and we are meant to do something either with these people or in proximity to them, that there is a rewiring, a recoding going on in the earth grid, and that certain people activate gifts in one another while we're evolving together. It's like an old story has to pass away and the new one has to come forth. And it's our connections with each other that really spur those stories and act as catalysts for soul evolution. Okay, so now we've got the setup of the realms here. So I want to turn now to this Beyond Lemuria deck, which is just a beautiful card deck. Izzy Ivy is the artist, and I found her online looking for some sort of more magical art, and just she has also some really huge, beautiful life-size paintings, but her cards are a beautiful way to get a glimpse at all her work. And I kind of want to use this to look at like what's coming in with this 2022 energy. What is for the collective coming in for us? First of all, in our relationships. Let's look at in our relationships, what's coming in for us in this 222. And the card that comes up is Star Seed Elementals. I really feel the star realms communicating a lot since the end of 2021 and into now, that they're, again, this card is all about connecting with our soul group, for one thing, that we may have known in other lifetimes. But also this is the children being our teachers card. This is the child within. This is laughter and lightheartedness. This is maintaining like a curious, inquisitive wonder and imagination. So it's saying like for 2022, our relationships want to be playful. They want to be like the inner child being let loose. They want to be fun. And so if your relationships are feeling heavy or too serious or too grown up or all of that, then it's really, igniting a remembrance that, hey, like this is a time for fun and magic and superpowers and companionship and reaching for the stars. And so some of the people dropping out of our lives at this time may be the ones that we have completed difficult karmic lessons with, things that have been maybe heavier loads from the previous cycle. If you saw my I did a new moon reading the other day on my YouTube channel, and it was bringing up the fact that the old year was like we came to the end of the old year, and then there was a karmic board clearing gateway that we went through, which is really like a board of beings who are like, great, okay, we're swiping that old story. Like the karma is being cleared from that old story, and you're entering we really are entering a new phase, it's not just a new year, but there is a new era. Like we're entering the age of Aquarius, and the energy is more playful and more harmonious and friendly and mysterious. So I love that this card's coming up here.
I love it too. And I have to say, like everything I've been journaling and feeling into, it's just my inner child is leading the way this year.
Yes.
And I feel like that's not just mine. It is what we are being called to do. That light, playful curiosity, loving easily, forgiving easily, having fun easily. I mean, that is what I imagine, what we're ascending into is.
Yes.
That beginning initial call of just have fun, be playful, relax, enjoy, be present.
Yes, I completely agree. I love it. I've been feeling it too. And I love even the Labradorite showing up to me. Like we talked about my wands the other day, and my wand, my magical wand is Labradorite because it's my favorite. So it just made me smile.
Yeah, I was thinking about both of those. Stasia's going to make me a wand, and I was thinking, those both sound amazing.
Yes, really good ones. Yeah, I think Orlite is the one I made my younger son's wand out of. It looks so familiar, so that's fun. Okay, the next card, we're going to look at career, work, and finances in 2022. What is the energy surrounding that? And we could also say the vibration of abundance. And it's coming up, shine your light. Card number 44, which to me is a mastery number. And then this is really saying like where you're going to make your money this year, where you're going to really prosper and feel abundance is when you are shining your light, when you are doing what you love and you are being authentic and empowered and loving your life. Again, like being like a little child, that's where the flow is.
Love it.
Makes so much sense, right?
Totally.
Yes. So doing what you love, like if you're doing something that you don't love right now and you don't feel like you can get out of it, where can you start shining your light? Where can you start expressing yourself? Maybe there's a little art that you do or a craft that you can start like sharing with people so that you start to feel that bubbling up of your authentic nature coming out. And even if it doesn't seem like you can cold turkey jump into what you love and see an immediate flow, you can start to see the universe saying yes to you when you begin to express authentically and you see the doors open and the opportunities present themselves for wherever your light is turned on. So watch out for that. Notice that. It's a really, really aligned time energetically for us to just be doing what we love. It definitely opens the gateways. Okay, let's now look at the card for 2022 health and well-being. What's going to support health and well-being in this 222, which 222 is numerologically a 6, and 6s are all about community. So I just want to remind everybody, like this is a year of coming together and connecting. That's really where the energy is. So for our health and well-being, the card Radical Expansion is coming up. Woo! This is a beautiful card too. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So health and well-being, this card is really aligned with the last card. I'm saying like your health and well-being is, first of all, letting go of judgment, creatively exploring like radical new ways of being you, really being bold, having a voice, taking up space. Ooh, this is a big one for people. Like a lot of times we just feel like we can't take up space, like someone's not going to approve of whatever it is that we want to express or do or say. And so many of us have walked around holding that all in. What this card is really reflecting back is that's where a lot of the ailments come from, is holding in our authenticity, holding in our boldness and our luminous, full capacity expression. And so this is a year that's saying, hey, make no apologies for who you are, and health will follow that. Your well-being will follow you letting yourself be. Give permission to yourself to be boldly all of you.
I love that so much. And I just feel like when I opened up for 2022 and, the main thing for the collective in the Sophia code, it opened up to Hathor. And that's all about our DNA being activated. And so I feel that with that card too. Like, we're going to have so much DNA activation that there's going to be so much spontaneous healing and youthfulness.
Definitely.
So much.
Yes. Oh, I read something so interesting last night, and it fits right here. So I want to share it. I was reading a book about a yogi to my son, and it was talking about, there's a lot of Indian philosophy and Indian mythology that I'm not familiar with. And so even though I'm familiar with a lot of it, there's so much that I'm reading it and I'm like, I'm not familiar with this concept. But it was a conversation between Shiva and Parvati, the manifestation of divine, consciousness and energy and action is this, I don't know if you're familiar with Shiva Shakti, but Shiva Parvati is like these two beings meditating for all of humanity, at the top of the world kind of thing. And the story goes that there's a specific teaching of how to spread, yoga and enlightenment to the humans of the world. And there had to be like a transmission to another God being, another like highly advanced being, who then had to subsequently become cursed by the goddess in order to de-evolve enough to bring that information to humanity, and then simultaneously be blessed. So after having de-evolved enough to bring it, could progress again on the path in order to like embody it. And I just thought, whoa, wow, what a like trippy and cool, because it was literally like a DNA activation where your DNA had to de-evolve to drop into this density and then be activated again to fully embody. And this card is making me think, and what you just said is making me think of that, like all that we've been through in the de-evolution, in the forgetting, like was so we could embody to begin with, like so we could even come and have this human experience. But this year is a time for that blessing taking place, that we now go through a rapid, radical expansion back into who we really are.
Full body chills. Yes.
Ooh, and it is a DNA thing. Absolutely is a DNA thing. So our health and well-being does come down to our DNA. So like allowing that to occur by not stifling ourselves, not like trying to hold back, but really when we feel what needs to come through, be it emotions that we need to express, or, like there's a lot of different ways we can unfold from the old reality. But this card is, I want to just read a little bit of what it says because it's so beautiful. It says, you are the pioneer of your life. The way forward may be in your dreams or vision. So many of us are seeing the pictures in our mind. We're seeing it in our dreams. You might find it useful to do automatic writing or an intuitive drawing to capture more of the lucid information. But be creative. Don't take the opinions of others. It's time to think and do things a whole other way. So this radical expansion is about just really like unfolding to something totally different and new. It says, a bold and radical as some of your ideas or offerings might be, this card's saying, like, this is maybe just what the world is waiting for. So this is kind of the permission to do that thing that maybe you've been holding back or wondering, like if it's too weird or too much or too different or too, whatever, that now is the time.
Yes. And you shared allowing. And that's my power word and my word for the year. And I just feel like we have so many blessings that have been waiting for us to allow them in. And then the true freedom that we are all craving is by allowing ourselves to be all of the different things that we truly are. It's like letting our hair down and just, exploring the intuition that we've maybe been suppressing, or this or that, and just allowing. It's like,
absolutely. And maybe there's clothes in your closet right now that you haven't dared to wear, even though you love. And I love this card because it's just full of these bright colors and this unraveling dragon with wings and this lady with her arms thrown up to the dragon. It's like the things that you have sort of held back from. Like, this is what is going to allow not only our health and vibrancy, but actually for us to like lengthen our lives when we really, and I think of like wearing radical clothes or just wearing something that you truly, truly love, even if it's not what anybody else would even say was fashionable or whatever. Like, that's actually part of the luminosity expressing, which is our health and well-being. It is the full expression of our telomeres, if you will, which are our longevity cells, to like go to the end and be all we can be in every moment.
Yes. And I am so into dragons. I love that.
Yes, they're definitely around our energy field right now. Okay, the next card we're going to pull is the spiritual energy and where spiritual fulfillment is found in 2022. And I think we've been saying it through all of these, but interestingly enough, the card for the sacral chakra comes up. And this has been coming up for a lot of my clients as well. And I do feel like it is time for this on planet Earth. And the sacral chakra, if you aren't familiar, is our creation chakra. It's our second chakra, and it's rules over the reproductive organs, the womb space, our sensual energy. It is our sexual energy and our like energy of feeling satisfied in our life. And so it's really saying like our spiritual fulfillment comes from integrating that part of us into our wholeness that maybe reality has showed us a distorted and disempowered version of sexuality, the pleasure in the body. But in order to be our full spiritual, dynamic, superhero, magical self, it's saying this part is part of you too. Love that part of you. Love that sensual you. That is like where our life force is really springing from and is the core of creation.
Yeah. I mean, it's an exploration, and that means of like onking and, helping the energy flow circulate from that space all the way back up to our crown chakra and back through our bodies, and how healing and blissful and orgasmic and so many things can be downloaded in those moments too.
Absolutely. I truly believe this is the most sacred, holy. This is our Kundalini life force that the orgasmic energy created all of the universe. I truly see that that's how this ripple of divine force happens. And we each contain like that in us, that seed of that energy in us. And we have been taught to just channel it and focus it very like minute and almost like acute to the point where it has become almost like a societal illness, I have to say. And so the wound of
so
that,
inverted.
Yeah,
we're turning it over and making it organic and beautiful and natural and pure and everything
and holy and sacred and creative. Holy. Yes. And like you were saying, like the channeling of that sacral energy through our whole body system actually really allows us to know our entire life as orgasmic, that it's not just in sex that we can access that, but smelling a flower or being in nature or giggling or, like playing with the animals, like putting on clothes, like all the sensual parts of existence in our physical body are meant to be this holy orgasmic play with life. And so this is returning us again to the core of our creative energy. And that's really something we've been missing, even in the spiritual community, is to really acknowledge and channel like that energy into like the beauty of who we are. It's not just looking at sex from a tantric standpoint where you're like, you learn different techniques and you advance your, situation with your partner, which I do teach, but to actually move that energy into your entire life, that we are in a constant sensual relationship with existence.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to do a couple more cards here. So the next one is about what you most need to focus on this year. So as a collective, I'm just asking the universe, what might you show us is the most important focal point? We have a lot of them already, but let's just kind of summarize these together. And I'm getting the card of the portal keeper. The portal keeper. It has a kitty cat sitting on it. So I feel, again, the animals sort of walking back in. This card is about unique gateways to mystical experiences. It is about multidimensional awareness and really like exploring the edges of reality for significant messages. It is raising our vibration. It is expanding our consciousness. So in summary of all these points that we've made, like where does our health and well-being come from? Shining our light, radical expansion. This card is saying like to focus on the portal, to focus on this multidimensional awareness that you can access through your third eye center, through meditation, through focusing in on your center point and allowing your multidimensional self to come more into view. And some might say, what does that mean? What is the multidimensional self? Well, like we were just saying, like orgasms aren't restricted to sex, that a multi-orgasmic being has like orgasms connected to our entire sensual experience, that we are multi-dimensional. We are not trapped in one dimension of experience, that we have many ways we can experience. So it's almost like the focus is not a focus. The focus is to broaden the focus, to recognize the vastness of our possibilities and to be aware of them.
And all of that raises our vibration, which is exactly what we're all, and it's a natural thing,
Right.
with your curiosity, with lovemaking, with earthing, hugging trees, and, just having all of the tactile experiences where we're using all of our senses. You can just have an orgasm of delight with eating a strawberry,
Absolutely.
The simplicity, and then that like rippling and affecting all of our timelines and, just doing so many beautiful things.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like the true spirituality, if you want to call it, is really stripping it down to the most essential, and that those things that are really, really connected to our actual beingness, our physicality and all that we can access through these forms and through our consciousness, that it really doesn't have to go beyond that. We love all the external, things that we play with in our cards and our rituals and candles and everything. Those are all lovely. And if they bring us joy, then of course. But like we've said before, and you've said it several times in this talk, is when we're in the moment with whatever we're doing, that is the portal. Like the portal is the now. And that's where we expand from. That's where we connect to. And we just really need to get out of our heads more, is really kind of what it's saying. Like,
yes,
just literally be with what is. Like, and I'm going back to the herb cards and I'm saying, like, defend. Okay, well, defend the moment as if it is the holiest of holies, because it is. Like your moment is the holiest of holies every moment. With tenacity, be present. Be present with full vigor, with all of your energy. And this portal keeper card is also like speaking to, hey, if you need to clean up any like karmic ties, if you need to go back and do ancestral work, like what keeps you from being in the moment? Like go ahead and explore that and bring those pieces home, so that in this year, more and more of us can be living in this magical present moment.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is the most important lesson for this coming year. summed up in freedom. The card is freedom.
Woohoo!
Woo! I love it. It's
Yes.
a dragonfly on this card, which to me, dragonfly
Wow.
is the shatter of illusions. So this is our most important lesson. Like, we're really shattering the old and we're becoming free in the knowledge of who we truly are. Love it. And
Love
finally,
it. Yes.
the last card here is the overall card for 2022, kind of like the blessing card, I suppose. And it is the transformation card. So we definitely are in the most beautiful collective transformation of all times. But I just want to reiterate that this truly is the most magical time to be alive. And even the things that may look unnerving or scary or disrupting in the world, yes, there is a need for the old to deconstruct. And, even if you make Legos and you build this amazing structure, at some point when they all come crashing down, there's a moment of disarray and chaos. And of course, I'm not relating to people losing their lives to the same as Legos, because I know there is much of that going on as well. But from a bigger perspective on this cosmic cycle scale of things, we are going through a massive human transformation that many souls have chosen to assist by leaving their bodies. So I definitely want to bring honor to that. But just knowing that at the same time, those of us who are choosing to be here, to really allow the magic to come through us, to be that portal for the new, to get excited about it, because that is an important part of the creation, is to feel the joy, even while we're feeling the sadness and the compassion for that which passes away, to at the same time feel the joy and the happiness.
Absolutely. And I'm feeling like us pivoting to everything that we have available to us through this reading and feeling the magic and creating, that's us creating the new reality of heaven on earth, and just letting the other fall away without needing to anchor into any of it. I feel like that will cause us to have so much ease and flow, and it will accelerate the inevitability that we are ascending and that all of this is available to us now.
Absolutely. So there was an uneven number of cards here while I'm setting up for the picture. So I pulled over the other card that evenly balances with transformation, and it is the Trust Your Innocence card. So I just think it's bringing us back again around to the inner child, to the playfulness, to the innocent nature of existence, that we are a part, that we are manifest forms of, and that is the gateway of this new year, this innocent heart.
Wow, what a beautiful confirmation.
So beautiful. I love it. Wow, how powerful this is indeed. And I also feel with the sacral chakra card that this is really like helping to heal all of the wounds that have been associated with that portal of even like birthing us onto this planet, birthing any disruption in the birthing field that is contributed to the past cycle. This is like a renewal energy. This is a rebaptism. The sacral chakra is the water chakra, is the waters of life. And it just feels like that we are being renewed in our innocence. We are being free from that heavy, serious, weighty cycle that I want to congratulate everybody. Everyone played their roles and their parts beautifully, experienced the heaviness of the plane of existence, and that now we're like on an elevator ride out of here to a higher dimension of living. And it's really beautiful. It's really exciting.
Yes, we all do deserve lots of congratulatory hugs, high fives, and I'm feeling it with everything that you pulled, that, we are getting so much love and celebration from all of the different realms.
And I want to just remember like the first couple of animal cards, the rhinoceros and the shark are sitting here, and the wolverine, which is this huge like bear creature. There's like some fierce energy that is not going to not let this happen. Like there is so much power around this. This is not just fairies and dragonflies and cute kitty cats. This is like a powerful, powerful energy of like the most fiercest animals in the animal realms and the dragons as well, like showing up to say how powerful this change is, how big this is, how protected it is, how purposeful it is. And there's big energies backing this up. So I can't end this reading without pulling a gateway card from the Gateway of Light activation, because it's definitely a gateway that we're in. And there's some beautiful cards here. I know one wants to come through. So here it is. It's the higher heart activation.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So if those of you who aren't familiar with the high heart, the space between the heart and the throat, this is really the center of living your passion, living your truth with love, with divine love, with compassion, being able to manifest and speak from the song of your heart. And this comes through a healed heart. The colors on this card are this beautiful golden pink triangles going through this portal with all, you guys will see the card, but just a beautiful, beautiful picture of moving through this high heart activation. So I just want to read this if I can to end. The high heart is the most ascended form of the heart chakra. It is found in the center of the chest, in the heart region, and is seen clairvoyantly as a pink color. The reason that this energy center is pink is because it is the opposite complementary of green, which is red, with the white light of spirit. Through the stargate of the heart, we have the potential to connect with divine love, the love that exists in all things, and experience the heaven within. How appropriate. This card transports us to the higher heart space where we can recognize that love is not an external essence, but a light we hold within. It has been there through every lifetime. When the higher heart becomes active, it's a recognition that the search for love has ended and the excavation of the heart has finally begun. So I'm going to ask everyone that's listening to place a hand over your heart, just above it, the high heart, and affirm to yourself right now, I am love.
I am love.
Love is my truth.
Love is my truth.
Love is my inheritance.
Love is my inheritance.
I allow love to be my experience.
I allow love to be my experience.
I am love.
I am love.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. I am treasuring this. I had a vision of me listening to our podcast together throughout this whole year, because there's going to be times where we look and get hooked a little bit into, the things falling down. And I feel like this will just immediately bring me back to the true vision and the true organic timeline that we have just beautifully woven together. And it is so.
And it is so. Thank you so much. I agree. At times when the shark attack seems to come or the rhinoceros seems to plow through the old, we can remember the beautiful energies that come behind that and with that and the purpose of it all. So thank you so much for having me to share this beautiful message with your listeners. I'm so, so honored. It's really an honor for me. Thank you.
Such a gift. And we're not done with Stasia yet. We are going to have her back and we are going to talk about some of the experiences that I have had with her and the healings and ways that you can connect with her. So tune in to the next week that she's going to be on. I'm so excited. This was such a service to humanity. Thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, sister. Thank you.
And we are offering all of our listeners so much love and so much light. And I'm so excited to bring the good news of what 2022 is bringing us.
Really a
Power
blessing.
of three, a perfect trinity. It is done. It is done. It is done. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me today on Heal into Happy. My prayer is that you have gained more insight into your healing journey and that you are one step closer to loving yourself more fully in this now moment. And if you could do me a favor, please leave me a 5-star review over on iTunes. My passion is empowering others on their healing journey, and with your review, you may help others struggling to heal find this message. Be sure to visit me at healintohappy.com for past episodes and more ways to connect with me. Also, please always remember that I am offering you so much love and light as I celebrate the divine sovereign being that I see in you.